Good morning, everybody. It's Irene with BrainStormAcres. And today, Henry and I are working together apart again. Henry's gone to make a run to get some things to FedEx and pick up some other things and return some things that didn't fit right. So, while he's off doing that, I'm filling up the makeup barrel in the greenhouse, getting some of the other barrels done, and also doing a little bit of trimming and cleanup. It's pretty much what we do here. Every morning I'm out here, usually 6:30 or 7 in the morning. Whoops. And that was what I was trying to avoid, was running that over. Oh well. It won't be the first time and it won't be the last time. Took just a little too long to get Henry on the road this morning. Nothing like a little excitement. So, here we go. This is one of the regular water barrels that we use for watering in the greenhouse. We don't have actual water in here, so we just haul it in, fill up some rain barrels. These also provide a bit of heat in the wintertime. Time to tidy up a bit. These guys are growing ridiculously fast as always. I just put a clip on here the other day. That one's fine. This one needs another clip, but it needs to be lowered. I don't like the tendrils to get wrapped up in here. Nope, it does have a clip. It was hiding under there. Okay, cool. That one's good. This one's good. This one does need another clip. Whoops. Say silly, Mama. Jack's over here. What you dropping, Mom? Apparently everything this morning. Say apparently everything. There we go. Let's do this without dropping anything. Okay. A couple of these don't look like they're going to make. So we'll take those off. Let the plant put its effort into other things. Those will go down there and get thrown in the trash. That's fine, that's fine. This one needs to be lowered a smidge. And I need to see where the latest clip is. Oh, this needs a clip too. I'm not obsessed with putting clips on these, but I don't want to risk having an entire section of plant peel off randomly at some point, probably at the most inopportune moment, of course, when it's full of fruit, and then break something. So this has got quite a few fruit on it. We won't know for a while which ones are going to make and which aren't, but I still want to make sure that it's well attached to the trellis lines so that whatever ones do make will be safe. Those are all set. Okay, let's take a look at the bottoms of the plants. Now I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with this pumpkin here. The leaves far away from the main stem are doing great. The ones close up are doing crappy. I've cut a few of them off because they were sort of fungusy looking. That's a technical term. I'm going to take a couple more off. I'm sure it's a fungus infection, but I know that sometimes if you chop off leaves, you can at least control it. I don't expect to get rid of anything at this point in here, but I am trying to keep this guy happy long enough for him to produce pumpkins. The stuff down here looks great. I'm still trying to decide if any of the pumpkins down there have made. We do know that we have a watermelon. This is our watermelon bucket here, and this little collection of stuff around the outside is obviously watermelons. You can see we have a very nice watermelon back there. God willing, the creek don't rise, we will have a watermelon out of this deal. We are hoping to also have some pie pumpkins. I just let the watermelons go crazy, because why not? Nothing was over here anyway. And some of these really big yellow flowers, I know you can see one over here, are part of the pie pumpkin. And I just haven't been able to discern for sure whether any of these female flowers have been pollinated. They don't seem to be rotting, so it's possible we have several that have been pollinated down here. I'm hoping. And see, there's our yellow white fly trap. It's also got a few assorted other bugs on it at this point, most of which are not good bugs. So I'm going to take a quick look at the bottom of the cucumber plants and determine if there's anything in here that needs to be trimmed. And I don't think so, but I do keep a look at them every week. Like this leaf down here is not all that wonderful. It's kind of stuck in there. We'll take him off. The cucumbers really don't need a gazillion leaves. So I try and leave the ones on that are healthy. These cucumbers also get a bit scratched up just from being battered around by the wind. Their own little prickly bits sort of stab their own leaves sometimes. So I am going to have to watch. I noticed that we are getting some regrowth on some of these bottom nodes, and I will be watching that. I want to have the option to use those nodes if I feel like I need to, like if I've got a branch that's gotten sickly, but I don't want it to take too much energy off the plant. I just stopped to throw the cucumber leaves out and check the water because I don't want to overflow the other water. One water overflow is enough. I don't need more than one. I think we'll just leave those for now. Okay, so that was step one. Picked these hard the other day, so took off most of the fruit. And I'm going to drop these again. So again, I don't want them up in the top. Once I have them dropped, I will probably trim off some of the bottom leaves. I'm also checking for suckers as we go along. Some of these things I'm trimming off are leaves. Some of them are where there used to be trusses of fruit that have been harvested off completely, so there's no reason for the trusses to stay on. One of the things I'm trying to do is keep track of the blight in here. There we go. I was busy changing barrels again. Okay, this branch here is pretty nasty. It's got quite a bit of early blight to it, but I kept it because it had a big truss of fruit on it. That truss of fruit is now gone. It's all been harvested, so there is no reason on the planet to keep that. And this, including all the string associated with it, is going to go in the trash. If I wanted to, I could keep the clips, and I may, but I have to wash those in Clorox. And this is going right out the door. I'm also adding a little bit of water to the top of some of these wicking toads, just a teeny bit. That one's fine. That one I'm going to flood. I'm actually getting ready to replant this one pretty quickly. It's pretty sure everything in there is now edible. Yeah. Ooh, hooey. Yuck. Yeah, that lettuce is definitely bolted. I need to decide. I think we'll pick peppers tomorrow. So we're gonna call that done. A very sad boy. He says she keeps throwing pieces of tomatoes on me. He's obviously terribly upset by this. There's my cabbage, who continues to grow, and I just continue to water him because he's loving it. We have lots and lots of cucumbers in here in all different stages of growing. Lots of babies. And we'll zoom down here. These are lettuce that have bolted, and they are very bitter now. I need to rip those out, but I have a bunch of green peppers in here. I'll probably harvest one or two tomorrow. We're not big pepper users, so I just want to get some in the freezer. These are the Antohi, which are a sweet pepper. Got tons of those. I just harvested the big ones out the other day, so lots there. And pak choi. I need to harvest out another one. Usually I use a lot of it in stir fry and soup, but it's been too hot for soup. So we're sort of building up a collection. And there he is, still totally upset by his lifestyle. Here's a little shot into the deep water culture for lettuce and pak choi. Has not been going all that well. We haven't figured out the details on it. Pak choi's not doing too badly, but we've had trouble with the lettuce, but we know it has to do with the root growth. So we're gonna work on that. Well, that's pretty much it in here this morning. I filled up the makeup water barrel, so we're set for that. That's lasting us, I want to say, about a week now. I could be wrong. It's hard for me to keep track sometimes. Anyway, so that's all set. I've got all three of the barrels over there that we use for watering the greenhouse filled. Most everything in here has been watered, if it needed it. Not everything needed it. This pumpkin is not a wicking toad, so it needs to be watered from the top every day. And I like to get it watered first thing in the morning before the heat really kicks in. It's fairly cool this morning, so it's about 85 degrees in here. And I haven't got the fans set up perfectly yet. Got the big fans down there. I've got the shade cover on the pak choi. I'll arrange this so it shoots more like that, and it blows the heat along the roof of the building here and out, which helps a lot, we find. And that's about it. I have other stuff to do, lots and lots of other stuff. I still have a little nursery over here. I'm trying to get some of the lettuce to root better, and I've got to do a little bit of research on that. I'm having a hard time getting the lettuce roots to come out the bottom nicely like that one is. And until they do that, they're not going to grow right in the deep water. So, not sure what's going on there. I'm sort of starting to blame it on the rock wool, but I don't know. I don't know. Hard to guess at this point. So I guess that's it for this morning. I've got I got a bunch of seeds I've got to get started. I have today's newsletter day, so I got to write my newsletter. Got to order a couple things online. I got his doggy food ordered online last night. We used to go someplace, not local because there is no place local, but we used to go someplace 45 minutes away that had his dog food, and they closed. So now the next newest place is an hour and 5 away, or an hour depending on traffic, and they don't always have it. So it now comes by mail. I get a discount when I order it by mail anyway, because I'm getting it direct from the company instead of through a second purveyor. So another wilty leaf I wanted to get rid of. So hopefully you found this interesting. This is what I do every morning to some extent. I check all the water on everything. I've been trying to get around to filling the barrels for a couple of days, but we had things that had to happen first thing in the morning. We have our yearly checkups and stuff later this week, and we both needed to get blood drawn. So that's a fasting blood draw, and yeah, that's always fun. So those were things that had to happen early in the morning, and it's a minimum of half hour, usually 45 minutes to get to the place where they do that. So obviously we were leaving relatively early in the morning, and I really didn't feel like getting up even earlier in order to be able to get all this stuff done. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because there's lots more going on. I have a bunch more stuff to do in the kitchen too. Most of that you've seen before. I froze another 5 bags of tomatoes yesterday. Unfortunately, that means my little freezer is pretty full. I'll have to see if there's anything I can shift from the little freezer into the big freezer. But generally I keep things that are easy access in there. Except for the tomatoes, that's where I just plain freeze those, so I'm not going in and out of the big deep freeze. But I still have a whole counter full of tomatoes, and our cantaloupes have started really producing. We had a giant cantaloupe that we shared for breakfast this morning, and I have 3 more cantaloupes in the house. Probably need to refrigerate them to keep them from going overripe. So until next time, bye.